Okay, man, we should be recording. Please let me know if my audio sounds bad at any moment to move. Okay, find somewhere
Okay,
with less wind. So, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
Happy to hear, man. So, I take it you're Carnist, right? You eat animals, animal products, stuff like that.
Not much, but yeah, sometimes.
Okay,
Because
so let me ask you something, man. Like, would you be comfortable, or in other words, would you say it would be ethical, a good thing, to give your money to a human holocaust that turns humans into sandwiches? What do you think about that? Would it be bad? Would it be
that's a
unethical to
completely
give money to
different
it?
thing, because that would be
Doesn't matter, man.
unethical
My friend, please answer
cannibalism.
my. I'm trying to find common ground first. I want to understand if we have common ground on that first. Can you answer the question?
Yeah, and I answered it. I said that it's unethical because it's cannibalism.
Okay, I just wanted a yes or a no. So it is unethical in your view. But now you don't think it's unethical to stab animals and turn them into sandwiches.
Because that's not cannibalism, and that's how our race got to the point where it is right now. We have developed through eating animal products.
Okay, it doesn't
Only
matter.
that's the
So
only
let me ask you this, man. So let me ask you
thing
this question.
there is
Uh,
currently.
so you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned cannibalism. We can get into that. You mentioned that we are at this point in civilization right now because of those actions that we did in the past. We can talk about that in a moment. Maybe that's gonna be important in the conversation. But I just want to ask you this question: what do you think is true of animals that, if it was true of humans, it would make it okay to stab and eat humans for sandwiches?
I mean, if it's, let's say there is another race of creatures that eats humans for
That doesn't
food.
answer my question. Sorry, that doesn't
No,
answer my
it
question.
is,
So
because if
let
you
me
as a human consume
let me make
human meat, that is
give me a second.
inherently wrong.
So I'm gonna make the question as clear as possible because what I'm asking from you is like to name like a couple of traits. Like it can be one trait, it can be like multiple traits. But I just want to understand what is it that's true of animals that, if it was true of humans, would make it okay to stab humans for sandwiches.
If they were intelligent enough to speak and build their own civilizations, if they would like be at the point in evolution that we are, but they are not.
Okay, so you mentioned like the level of intelligence and an ability to like build civilizations. So let me ask you this, man, because there's clearly like cases of human beings that are not like intelligent enough to build civilizations. So let me ask you this question: if we found like a bunch of intellectually disabled humans that they had like cognitive abilities and levels similar to that of like animals that we found, like let's say we found a group of humans that have minds or like cognitive abilities similar to that of pigs, and they didn't have any ability to build civilizations to any greater degree than a pig or a cow. If we found all those humans, like mentally disabled humans, like with severe autism or like with severe Down syndrome, stuff like that, would it be ethical to stab them and turn them into sandwiches? Yes or no?
No, because that's still cannibalism.
Well, that would be a logical contradiction.
No, it's not, because it's
So
those
let
are
me
the
explain.
same race as us.
Let me
That's
please
a
explain.
different thing. That is the same
So,
race, as us, the same
so
species.
so what you're doing here, so what you're doing here is you're adding in another trait, and that's fine. That's why I asked you for like a trait or a set of traits. So you're like now including human into the trait, but like the traits that you mentioned earlier did lead to a contradiction because I asked you what is it that's true of animals that, if it was true of humans, would justify turning humans into sandwiches, and you said intelligence and ability to build civilizations. But if we found
That
marginal cases of humans that didn't have those
isn't human,
abilities, you would still
that is
be
clearly
like
disabled. Like
sure. So
human at
but you
caveman level intelligence could build civilizations. That is
what
inherently
what did you say? Sorry.
like humans that are on the brain level of a caveman can still build their own civilizations.
I wasn't talking about humans that were in the level of cavemen. Cavemen obviously were intelligent as well. I'm talking about intellectually disabled humans that are not intelligent. That humans with a very low IQ. You understand that those humans like cannot build civilizations, right?
Yeah, but
Or
like
another example. Another example would be kids. Another example would be like babies. You agree that a baby cannot build a civilization, right?
bro, have you forgot to take your pills? What are you talking
So
about? Eating babies, my man.
Well, you're talking about eating animals that also matter and also value their own lives. So, are you mad? Have you taken your pills today?
The thing is, we
So
have
let
been
me ask you this,
eating
man,
animals
because
since the dawn of time.
what
Like,
did you say?
we have been eating animals since the dawn of time. We found Pokey Stick, we used Pokey Stick. Our brain went, boom, meat good for us.
Well, it
Human
doesn't
meat
really
is
matter.
bad
So let me
because
tell
of
you something, man.
brain
Let me tell you something.
prion disease.
Let me
Have
please
you
respond
ever
to your
heard of
point.
brain prion
Can I
disease?
respond to your argument? Can I respond to your argument? So you made it like a logically fallacious argument. You made an appeal to tradition. You said, "Oh, we've been doing this for a long time." You know that we've
Yeah.
been doing horrible things for a long time as well. Like human slavery was a tradition that we did for a very long time. Was human slavery justified because we it was a tradition that we did for a long time?
I mean, it brought our civilization up, but it's obviously wrong.
Okay. So it's a good thing that we abolished slavery, right?
That's a good thing that we don't have slavery anymore.
Yeah, so what I'm advocating is that we should abolish animal agriculture, and it would be a good thing that we don't have that anymore. It's fine if you want to say that it helped us got to this point, help us get to this point of civilization. That's an empirical question. I don't know. Maybe we could have gone to this point in civilization with more ethical ways of living, but like we can abolish animal agriculture right now. I think
But then
it's
we
that.
could eat nothing because grass, even plants, have the ability to scream.
No,
Have you read the science documents? Even
sure,
things
I'm
like
a psychology graduate student,
water,
man. I'm a psychology graduate,
plants,
so I'm very
they
aware. So
all
that you're making a mistake here. So let me respond to your point. Let me
have
please respond. So plants are not sentient. Plants don't have a capacity for subjective experience. What creates consciousness, or like the biological requirement for a being to have consciousness, is having
but
a
they still
central nervous system.
think.
Let me please respond. I haven't finished with my point. So human beings and animals, certain animals, not all, we have a central nervous system. That means that we have an ability to have subjective experiences. Plants don't have central nervous systems. They cannot. They don't have a mind. They don't suffer. They don't have thoughts. Like plants can react to stimuli. What you're calling screaming, it's like you're using like weird semantic, and you're calling screaming like plant communication. Plants do communicate, but they do it automatically. Like it is like automatic responses like from their genes
Yes,
and stuff. It is response to stimuli. It's
we
not
don't have to
consciousness.
automatically scream. It is in our DNA. It is wired that if we have pain, a response comes from that. It is just normal.
Humans, we do feel pain. Plants don't feel pain. They react to stimuli. They react to noxious stimuli and stuff like that. But they cannot experience suffering like sentient beings because they don't have brains. Brains like the current scientific consensus is that sentience seems to be an emergent property of brains. If a being doesn't have a brain, we have no reason to believe that being is conscious. But
I
we're a
never
little bit
said
off
it's
track. So
conscious,
sorry,
but it
sorry,
does
sorry.
feel pain. Because
Was that?
some plants do have pain receptors, and they also react. Like if you cut a a tree, sap comes out to heal the wound. If they wouldn't feel pain or stuff like that, that wouldn't happen.
So there's a difference in biology between reacting to stimuli and sentience. Sentience is an ability to have subjective experiences. It is having a mind. Reacting to
Yeah,
there's
but you
you
don't
don't
have
you
to be
don't need.
sentient
Sorry,
to
so
feel
I haven't
pain.
finished my point. I haven't finished my point, dude. You cannot keep interrupting me this brutally. Okay. So reacting to stimuli doesn't entail a mind. Like computers react to stimuli, calculators react to stimuli, stuff like that.
Ich bin gerade beschäftigt.
What?
Sorry, I'm talking to my grandma. I'm gonna mute myself really quick. So you can continue now. I'm sorry, my grandma just barged into the room.
No worries at all, man. But anyway, we are like off track right now. Remember, I asked a question. I asked like, what is it that's true of animals that if it was true of humans would justify stabbing humans and turning them into sandwich? And you named several traits. So you named intelligence, you named ability to build civilizations, and you also named species. But we can, like, I think we can discard those first traits that you named, like ability to build civilizations and intelligence, because you do agree that like mentally disabled people shouldn't be stabbed. So that's not the thing that gives them value, right?
Yeah, that might be true, but then again,
Okay, so let's just discard those traits. Let's discard those traits and let's stick to cannibalism. Let's stick
hold
to the
on,
species.
hold on there. Ja, rechts! Oh, du kannst doch nicht einfach rumschreien.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sorry, my grandma's out of the room now.
No worries. So this is the question, because you named that the thing that gives humans value over animals is this fact that we are humans. Like, it is our species. Like, can I ask you, by human, you just mean like having like being a Homo sapiens, right? Like having the DNA that makes us human, being able to interview with each other. That's what you mean.
Yes,
You're taking like a biological definition, right?
yes, being the same species. Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you a hypothetical question, man. Let's say, and please answer, man, because I hate people that dodge hypothetical questions. I just want your honest answer to this question. Like, if it was the case that we found a bunch of beings out there, like a bunch of like people that happen to not be human. Let's say they weren't our same species. Let's say instead of humans, scientists call them schmumans, right? And they couldn't interbreed with us or anything, but they have like minds identical to ours, and they have bodies like very similar to our bodies. They were like, they look exactly like us, but they weren't our species. It was a separate species called schmumans. Would it be ethical to turn schmumans into sandwiches? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, it would be. Totally. You could
So
also
you
just
think,
use workers.
was that?
You could also just use it as cheap workers.
Okay, so let me get this clear. So if we found like a another species here in this planet that looked exactly like us, like we even thought they were humans, but like somebody
But
tested their
if they are
DNA.
exactly like us, then
Let me
they're
please
humans and not
answer the
humans.
bro. Bro, I haven't finished my hypothetical question. So they say like scientists just tested their DNA, and it turns out they're not human. They look exactly like us. Oh, but holy shit, they're not human. Like, you're saying that it would be justified to enslave them and also Holocaust them for sandwiches, yes?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, man, I think you have an insane position. That's crazy. Like, I think most people, upon hearing that shit, are gonna think you're like a complete psychopath, man.
Because it's a hypothetical. I'm just like, it doesn't make sense. That's the thing.
Wait, it
So,
doesn't
so
make sense how.
it doesn't make sense because if they look like us, they obviously need to have the same DNA strains. Because otherwise, they wouldn't be looking identical to us. That's
Whoa,
not
whoa,
possible.
couple of
That is
things there.
physically not
No, no,
possible.
couple of things there. So you said, first of all, you said they would need to have our same DNA to look like us. What are you talking about, man? Do you realize that there were other species of hominids in this planet, right? It is possible to like be a hominid that looks exactly like us, but be from another species. Like, for example,
Give
Neanderthal. They were technically like a subspecies of humans, but like
our
there were
ancestors.
other. What's that?
Those are literally our ancestors.
No, Neanderthals are not our ancestors. They're our biological
What have
cousins. Our ancestors. Let me please,
you even
bro,
written
bro,
one
bro,
story?
bro.
Bro,
You're not letting me respond. Like, our ancestors were the Homo erectus. We come from Homo erectus. Neanderthals were our
mhm.
cousins. We shared an ancestor with Neanderthals. They were not our ancestors. But anyway, man, you said that we need. You said that animals would need human DNA in order to look exactly like humans. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do you need? What do you think? What do you mean need?
Like the same DNA that we have to currently, like, look, obviously, humans can have different races, but if they have the same DNA, it is the same species. If it doesn't have the same DNA, it is not the same species. That's how species are determined.
So let me ask you this, man. Are you saying it is impossible for some animals to look exactly like us and have psychologies exactly like ours, but not be from our species? Are you saying that's impossible?
Yes, it is, because why would like, okay, listen, how would they evolve to look exactly like us if they don't have the same fundamental components? It is not possible. It is
It
physically
is
not possible.
physically not possible. Okay, what law of physics does it violate? Can you tell me what law of physics it violates?
Evolution.
That's not a law of physics. What law of physics does it
It is
violate?
biology. You
So
cannot.
evolution by natural selection just tells us this. Evolution of natural selection just tells us about the origin of species. Like there's like genetic variation, and some species like survive better than others, and those species are the ones that are gonna leave offspring behind. And then when species separate, they can like what happens. Sorry, not when species separate. When certain members of the same species become isolated from each other, they can develop speciation, which means they become a separate species. So let me ask you as this hypothetical question. Let's say there's like a hidden island on this planet, right? And please don't
Mhm,
dodge the questions because they're hypotheticals. And
mhm.
there's like another like a member of our species of like in the past became separated from us and became a separate species through natural means, like through evolution. Like they still look like us, very close to us. Like for example, where some animals look very similar to each other, but are still from other species. So this is the like an example that I'm giving you. So these humans can no longer interbreed with us, so that we cannot like have sex with them and make babies with them. But they have bodies similar to ours, minds similar to ours. They have language, technology use, etc. But they're not from our species. So I want a yes or no answer. Would it be ethical to go to their island and turn them into sandwiches and to enslave them, etc.?
No, that's not ethical. If they stem from us, it is unethical.
So
And
that
you
would be
said
a first of all that would be a logical contradiction.
no, it's not because you said they do stem from us, from our species, and evolved further.
No,
That
no,
means
no, no, no,
you.
no, 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 no,
That,
no, no, no.
that means you said,
My friend, my friend, the trait that you named was species. So they are no longer from our species. It doesn't matter that they also came from Homo erectus or even from Homo sapiens. It doesn't matter. They are no longer our same species. They
it's
are
still
another species.
fundamental building stones, though, from our species.
Okay, so the first thing that I would say that it does lead to a logical contradiction. So you have contradicted yourself for a second time, but what you have done to save your contradiction is that you added another trait. That you said it would be unethical because they come from our common ancestor, so it is unethical. So like I'm gonna alter the hypothetical and ask you another hypothetical question. So let's say we go to another planet and we find a species of alien that was intelligent like us. They had language, they have technology, they have a civilization, but obviously they don't have a common ancestor with us because they evolved in a separate planet. Would it be ethical to go to their planet and just holocaust them all for sandwiches? Yes or no?
I mean, technically, it wouldn't be unethical, but it wouldn't be a holocaust because we're not putting them in gas chambers.
Wait, a couple of things there, man. So okay, so first of all, you
Because
admitted that it wouldn't be
holocaust
unethical.
is the thing you say if you put
Bro,
people in
why are you
gas
not letting me
chambers.
speak? Why are you not letting me speak? I wanted to respond to what you said. You said two things. You said that one, it wouldn't be technically unethical. So you're like admitting that it wouldn't be unethical to slaughter these beings for sandwiches. I want to make it clear. Do you think it wouldn't be unethical to go to their planet and open
Yeah,
up like a
the aliens.
sandwich?
The aliens.
It wouldn't be unethical. Yes?
It wouldn't be. I mean, it would be ethical to eat them because they are not from our species. I
Okay, man. So
misspoke. I am
it
sorry.
is an insane position, by the way. It is logically consistent. You haven't contradicted yourself there, but I think that's horrific, man. Like most people, upon hearing this conversation, maybe your grandma, maybe people that, that are close to you, upon hearing that, you would be fine, like turning intelligent, benevolent aliens into sandwiches. Like that also had language, it also valued their life. They were gonna think you're insane. But anyway, it is a logical, consistent position. But then you said another thing. You said that it wouldn't be called a holocaust because we wouldn't be putting them in gas chambers. So first of all, you do know that we put some pigs in gas chambers. That's one of the standard practices to kill pigs for bacon and stuff like that. You know that, right?
Yeah, and that's unethical because what I said was before I came in this voice chat, I said that I don't like mass animal cruelty. I don't like that. The way we should eat animals is by hunting them ourselves, but with our population, that sadly is not possible. I don't like, neither do I support the the massive annihilation of animals at one specific factory.
Okay, so this is gonna open a whole other like can of worms, but like let's get that in a second. I just want to get clear the definition of Holocaust. What do you think Holocaust means?
It is basically uh, the word you're usually looking for is genocide because that's what we're doing.
No.
Holocaust is yes, Holocaust is contributed to the big bad message man killing thousands and thousands of fucking of the Jewish people and shit. That is the Holocaust.
So
You're looking for the word
so
genocide.
let me clear this up. Let me please clear this up. So what you're doing is that you're giving like uh, you're using the historical Holocaust as the definition, like the capital, like how people call it the capital H Holocaust, because it was a recent Holocaust in our history. But the word Holocaust has been used for longer than that, and there has been multiple Holocausts throughout history. It's not just the Nazi Holocaust that
Yeah.
is referred as a
Then that
Holocaust.
might
No,
be.
no, my friend, please. So you said it would be called a genocide. No, it wouldn't be called a genocide because genocide implies like wanting to get rid of a whole race of people. So the Nazi Holocaust was actually a genocide because they wanted to get rid of the Jews. The definition of Holocaust is just this: Holocaust means slaughter on a mass scale. So that's what Holocaust means.
Okay, that's not. Okay, I didn't know that. I am, first of all, I am German. I don't speak English that well, so I didn't completely understand the definition. Because in Germany over here, we also say Holocaust to that, but we only say Holocaust if it's the thing in history that happened.
Yeah, sure. And a lot of people do that because that's the most recent Holocaust. Is like horrific. Is still in our like collective memory. It recently happened, basically. But Holocaust just means slaughter on a mass scale. So what we're doing to animals, it is like by definition a Holocaust because we're slaughtering
Okay,
animals
thank
on a
you for
mass scale.
clearing that up. I didn't know that. Thank you for clearing that up.
No worries, man. Also, don't worry about your English. Your English is great. I have understood you completely. Like I'm also not a native English speaker. I'm from Puerto Rico. I speak Spanish.
Ah.
But yeah. So just like we can move on from the name the trade question because you already admitted that it would be like according to your moral values, you think it would be ethical to go to like another planet and hunt down like benevolent, intelligent aliens and turn them into sandwiches. You agree that you think that's ethical, right?
Do they look like us? Like, do they look close to us?
Yeah, let's say they look like basically exactly like us, but green, and they have like little antennas in their head.
Well, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. Like, if they look too close to us, that would probably morally not be good. But if they don't look anything like us, sure, go ahead, fuck them up.
Okay, so that actually would lead to another contradiction. So that would lead to contradiction number three, because originally you didn't say anything about looking like us. You just said like not being our part of our species, and then you said, and then you named another trait. You said not having a ancestor like a shared ancestry to us. Now you're like adding a separate trait, and you contradicted yourself.
No, the thing is, different people have like different moral values. For me, it wouldn't be a problem because I mean, they're aliens. We don't fucking know them. They could be like America and come for oil, so we better fuck them up first.
No, no. So I made it clear, by the way. I made it clear in the hypothetical that they are benevolent. They're good uh, people. They're just not from our species, and they're
Can you
green,
give
and they.
me? Can you give me? Can you tell me what benevolent means? Can you give me another word for that?
Benevolent just means good. They don't have any evil intentions. They're just good
Well,
people.
then you're right. It wouldn't be ethical because slaughter without a reason is Obviously stupid.
Yeah, so that would just lead to contradiction number three, and you're like you open like a very weird can of worms here because like we are in fact hunting down animals for no reason, and so there's
Well,
like a
we're
bunch of
hunting them
things
for
that we could discuss.
food.
So first of all, you already contradicted yourself for a third time in like name the trade. So I just want to I think you already strike out. I don't want to continue doing name the trade because you just repeatedly keep contradicting yourselves. But I'm happy to talk about other topics because you said like you're against like factory farming and stuff like that. But that's like what happens most of the cases. Most of the cases that you go out and buy meat is from factory farms. So you already
Yeah, and I
again.
fucking hate that. That shouldn't
So
be
you
like that. We never should have evolved that way. I hate the fact that we kill thousands of animals like in factories each day. That is horrible.
so why pay for it then? Like why not just go vegan and like avoid giving your money to factory farms?
I mean, I don't eat much meat. I do sometimes, but that's usually when my grandpa brings something he hunted.
Okay, so you just eat hunted meat from your grandpa.
Mostly, yes.
So when you say mostly, are you saying that you also consume factory farm products occasionally?
Yes.
So do you
Because,
agree that according to your own values, that would be unethical because you said you're against factory farms?
yeah, you're right with that.
So why not just like not consume factory farm products anymore?
Because because over here in Germany, there's no, you can't hunt the entire year, so you have to like buy your meat elsewhere if it's not hunting season.
So why not just be vegan for the part of the year that you cannot hunt, and then the part of the year that you can hunt, you can have your animal products. I want to debate that separately because I still think hunting is unethical. But let's stick to the factory farming first. Why not just like eat plant based for part of the year, and whenever hunting is possible, eat the rest?
Because meat tastes good and I like my nutrients.
Okay, so you're basically saying that your taste pleasure is more important than the lives of these innocent
No,
animals. That's what
my
you're saying.
nutrient intake.
I don't know what you mean by nutrient intake. You can be nutritional. Sorry, you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. So I don't know what the hell you mean by nutrients.
Protein.
Where do you think protein comes from?
Mostly meat and nuts.
No, that's an empirical question. Do you have any evidence that most protein comes from meat?
Yeah, look it up.
I have looked it up. I know that like literally like all the protein that the animals get, they get it originally from plants. Like plants have all essential amino acids that we need and our body needs to sustain itself. So like all the essential amino acids we can find them in plants. Like there's not gonna be any sort of nutritional deficiency that you can develop like by eating a plant-based diet. In fact, like if you take a look at the science, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, this is the largest organization of nutrition and dietitians and the experts in the planet, they came to the conclusion that plant-based diets not only are nutritionally adequate throughout all stages of the life cycle, including pregnancy, childhood, adolescence, and athletes and stuff like that. It also like promotes health. Like it provides health benefits against certain diseases like heart disease, diabetes, stuff like that. So the two things that you said, like providing nutrients, that's bullshit because you can get all the nutrients you need from plants except B12, but you can just take a B12 supplement, and most people should supplement B12 anyway because B12 deficiencies are very common.
Okay.
So why the
If
hell
you,
why the hell participate in something that you yourself admit is wrong? You said factory farming is wrong. Why the hell give your money to that if you can get all your nutrients and you can eat tasty vegan food?
tasty is not quite right. Most of the store-bought vegan food is shit. Let's say it like that. But like, I went eating vegan today.
That's
To be
bullshit.
honest,
That's bullshit.
no, no, no. Let me talk. So I was
You just made a
eating
false claim,
vegan
man.
today
You just
with
made
my
a false
girlfriend.
claim. You just made a false claim that there's there's vegan meat, food that's so fucking good that it tastes exactly like animal products nowadays. There's Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat. That I don't know what the hell you cannot get your hands on
I've tried
on
that
vegan
before. It
food.
doesn't taste like meat.
Anyway, go ahead, continue.
So I there is a fucking there is a restaurant over here in Germany that's called Katzentemple. It basically means cat temple in English. It's a cat cafe, and only get vegan food over there. So I thought I'd try it today, and it was good actually because it wasn't store bought shit. It was like actually good. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
There you go. So you yourself know that there's tasty vegan food out there, and even if there wasn't, I don't think taste pleasure justifies violence. Maybe you think taste pleasure justifies violence and cruelty and stuff like that. I don't. But let me ask you this, man: do you at least admit that you're being a hypocrite by like being against factory farming, but at the same time giving your money to factory farming?
What are, Let me ask you otherwise. What other options are there if you can't hunt all year?
Well,
Like
I mean, you can.
what
Sure.
other options are there than not buy meat from a factory but still get your meat?
What do you mean still get your meat? I'm against people buying animal products. What do you mean?
Like obviously factory farming is wrong, but like how do you get your meat without buying it from a factory if you can't hunt all year?
Then maybe don't get any fucking meat, man. How about that?
Nah, thank you. I'ma do my own thing.
Yeah, so are you admitting then that you're a hypocrite by being against factory farm but still giving your money to factory farm? Can you at least concede on that?
Not because you can't literally get it any other way if you don't buy it from a factory farm if it's not hunting season.
And
So
why? How does that matter? How does that matter? Do you think you need
it
like
matters.
factory farm meat or
Like
something? Do you think you need it?
it ma- yes, I do need my meat. I
What do
like
you
it.
mean by need? What do you mean by need? What will happen to you if you
Obviously,
don't eat meat?
bro, there is things like you need the protein. It is it is like scientifically based. So many studies have shown that there is more like protein in meat.
Can you substantiate that claim? But anyway, I'm not interested in the nutrition topic, man. Like I don't fucking care. I already pointed to the scientific evidence. Like you can take a look with your own eyes you can take a look at the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics peer review statement on plant-based diets. They conclude that they are not only nutritionally adequate, they are beneficial for health. So it is good to be a fucking vegan. It like helps you uh it, like prevent deadly diseases like heart disease, diabetes, like stuff like that. So it is healthy. You're just like making up with stupid excuses. But I want to talk about hunting because you said it is ethical to kill animals. You are a hypocrite. Like you don't want to admit it, but you are a hypocrite because you are against factory farming, but you give your money to it. But I want to advocate for animal rights. So I think even hunting animals, even hunting like innocent animals out there, is wrong. You don't think it's wrong? Why not?
Because it's the way we did it since we started eating meat, and if there wasn't a point in eating meat, we wouldn't have evolved that way. It is
Okay, so
that simple.
let me
There
ask
is
you another
no
hypothetical question, my friend. Let me ask you another hypothetical question. So let's say it happened to be the case, like scientists discover right now, holy shit, like unbeknownst to science, unbeknownst to all of us, we actually used to be like very cannibalistic and actually like killing and eating other humans helped us get to this point of civilization. Would you now say, and let's say we've been doing it for a long time, it was a long standing tradition, human cannibalism. Are you now going to say that it is ethical to go and hunt innocent human and children because it was a tradition, a long tradition?
we don't need to do that anymore. Like we wouldn't. There is enough other meats that we don't have to eat our own kind.
So that would be a logical contradiction once again. So fourth contradiction in this debate. You didn't mention anything about
Explain how that's
needing
a
it. You said it
contradiction.
was a tradition. I asked you
Explain
what
how
makes
that's
it
a
okay. So my friend,
contradiction.
my friend, please let me respond. You said, I asked, what makes it okay? You said, because it's a tradition and it helped us get to this point of civilization. Now you're claiming that we need it. We don't need it. And you can read up on the science. We don't need it. So that's complete bullshit. Anybody that has a basic understanding of nutrition will know that you're like bullshitting right now. But let me ask you this, man. What is it that's true of animals that I think you already named a couple of traits. So I just want to ask you a hypothetical questions based on the traits that you have named already. So let's say we went to another planet. We got a spacecraft, and we went to another planet, and we found a bunch of beings that have minds identical to us. So they were intelligent as hell. They had language. They had technology, civilization. They were benevolent. They were like good, but they didn't look anything like us. They have very weird ass bodies that didn't look anything like our bodies. Would it be ethical to hunt them and like not on a mass scale, not factory farms or anything, but just like shoot them down and eat them for like hamburgers?
Is it beneficial to us? If yes, then I would.
Let's say it is beneficial to the same degree that eating animal products right now is beneficial, which is not beneficial at all. Uh, it just we don't need animal products, so it is beneficial to the same degree that you're already okay with eating animal products. Beneficial to the exact same degree.
Well, if I'm already okay with the one thing and it has the same benefits, then I should be okay with the other one. But here's the thing: if they're like
Okay, man.
as
So
intelligent as
before you go on, that's I think that's the reductio to your position. That's a horrific position to have. So you think it would be ethical to hunt down beings that think exactly like us, have minds and like souls
that's the
exactly
point
like
I
ours,
wanted to get
but
to. Like
my friend, let me
the
please
thing
fucking
why
let
it
me
is not
please let me
beneficial is
please let
because
me
they
please
think
let me
like
please
us.
let me
No, you.
Okay, so your server muted right now. I let me please respond to my point. Let me please finish my point. Oh, she actually left. Uh, anyway, he wasn't letting me respond. So this piece of shit right here just admitted that it would be ethical, according to him, to hunt down beings that were like psychologically identical to human beings, but they just happen to be in a different shell. They're in a different body. They're from another planet, but it would be ethical according to his values. I think he's a complete psychopath. That's the logic of carnism right there. If you're still carnist, that's the way to justify it, I guess. Go vegan.